Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Acid Spitting Emu, and welcome back to Joe Devers' Lone Wolf. In the last episode, we had met with Leandra Redallion, the amateur inventor, and she had explained to us a little bit about what had happened in Rockstarn. She also told us that she had sabotaged the elevator platform so that the Gaiacs could no longer get down to the forest floor to attack the miners that are currently holed up inside the mines. And she told us how to find the missing parts so that we could repair the elevator so that we could go help them. So let's see what we do now. Leandra prepares for the mission. She gathers up some food and some tools, and she puts them in her backpack. As she is fastening the flap, she says something which surprises you. "When I saw you for the first time, I thought you were a grown man. But now you seem really young to me." Leandra shoulders her backpack, then she picks up a stiletto dagger and slips it inside her belt. "There's an old tunnel in the cellar of this house," she says, "and it runs all the way to the foundry. My father and I often use it to go there and buy the bronin and iron we need for our inventions. You can use it as well to reach the foundry without having to take your chances out in the open. Or you can come with me and I'll show you where the sheriff's office is. The foundry on your own, or the sheriff's office with Leandra. The choice is yours." Alright, we have a couple of different choices here. We can either go with Leandra to the sheriff's office, or we can take our chances on our own to go to the foundry. I usually go to the sheriff's office first, but I think this time I want to try my chances at the foundry. Because Leandra honestly gets a little upset with you if you tell her, that you don't want to leave her by herself, so I'm going to let her do her thing since she seems plenty capable of handling herself, and we're going to head through the tunnel to the foundry. After a few moments' consideration, you make your choice. "I'll use the tunnel." Leandra replies, "You may be young, but you're certainly not foolish. Well, not as foolish as me, I suppose." Leandra bids you to follow her. She leads you to the kitchen where the granite hearth is filled with cold ashes. On the mantelpiece above the hearth, there is a concealed lever. Leandra pulls this lever and the fireplace starts to rotate. It reveals a flight of stone steps leading down into the darkness. "This is the entrance," she says. "Good luck. I shall wait for you at the boiler house. It's easy to find. It's the nearest building to the elevator at the edge of the cliff." You bid Leandra good luck and farewell. Then you descend the cold stone steps and make your way along a narrow passageway that is as dark as a moonless night. You hear the fireplace rotating to a close in the distance. Behind you, it shuts with a dull and ominous boom. Your keen eyesight is powerful enough for you to make good progress in the inky blackness, but you have not gone very far before you see an unexpected obstacle ahead. It is a door constructed of welded iron bars. It reminds you of a door to a gall cell. A closer inspection reveals a lock plate, and when you push hard against it, you discover that this iron door is firmly locked. Leandra never mentioned this door. With the way ahead blocked and the fireplace entrance closed behind you, a tinkle of apprehension runs down your spine when you realize that you are now trapped underground in a narrow stone tunnel. Alright, we can attempt to pick the lock, or, unnerved, you try to make your way past this door through the use of brute force. Let's just bust this door down. Come on! Yes! With a growing fear that you may have been trapped in this dark tunnel on purpose, and that it could end up being your final resting place, you scour every inch of the barred door and its metal frame. The door itself is solid and unmoving, but the frame to the left of the door is not so secure. The bolts that fix it to the tunnel wall are badly corroded. A few heavy blows might be all that is needed to dislodge them. You wrap your cloak around your left shoulder and upper arm to afford them some protection. Then you rush towards the frame and slam into the wall with all the strength you can muster. Fueled by fear and desperation, you ram the frame several times with your shoulder until finally it surrenders to your relentless battering. Badly bruised but thankful to be free of this subterranean prison, you force the frame out of position until there is space enough for you to squeeze through the tunnel beyond. You follow the tunnel and see the outline of some large objects partially blocking the way ahead. They are barrels and packing crates. The blacksmith at the foundry uses this part of the tunnel as a storage area. It is a good sign. You must be getting close to the foundry itself. Beyond the barrels and boxes, you come to what looks like a dead end, but on closer inspection, you find a small lever protruding from the wall. It is very similar to the lever that Leandra pulled to open the concealed fireplace door. You depress the lever, and a section of the wall grinds open on hidden hinges. There is a small room beyond, lit by gray daylight that streams through the timber frames above. The chamber is unoccupied, but you can hear something that sets your very nerves on edge. From beyond a solitary wooden door, you can detect the clumsy movement and harsh voices of Gaiacs. Alright, we can wait patiently for a chance to launch a stealthy attack. We can count on our Kai weapon skill discipline to dispose of the Gaiacs. We do not master that discipline, or we are unafraid of the consequences we charge at our enemies. I think in this instance, I'm going to count on my Kai weapon skill and take care of these guys professionally. And let's see. Precision event. In order to perform a precision action event, blah blah blah, we've already seen this. Alright, let's see. Boom. And a directional event. Yes, alright. You find yourself in the Foundry's main workshop, a spacious area occupied by a gang of grim-faced Gaiac raiders. Your bold attack and unerring aim paid to one tough Gaiac and wound two more. Quickly, you scour your new surroundings. More enemies were hiding behind the furnaces and foundry equipment, and determinedly, now they close in on you from all sides. You draw your hand weapon and steel yourself to meet their assault with deadly force. And here we go. Let's see how many we run into this time. Oh, there's 3 to start out with. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll do this. And that should take care of one. Now, we'll go ahead and use our weapon skill to strengthen our axe. We should be able to deal a final blow to this guy. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and deal some more damage to this guy. Crap. Alright. Now, finish him off. Yes. And we are fully charged if another one attacks. Oh, I assumed another one would attack. I guess not. I still haven't showed you guys the Summer Sword, and I plan on doing that. It's just I always seem to finish the battle before I have a chance. Alright, let's see what they got us. We have 2 more pick locks, a Lomspur potion, and a piece of iron. Nice. The Gaiacs have thoroughly ransacked the foundry, but amongst the overturned workbenches and scattered debris, you find what you came here looking for. Sitting atop a crumpled pile of heavy iron chains, there is one that stands out from the rest. It is smaller, well-oiled, and it has been welded to form a continuous loop. With a sigh of relief, you pick up the drive chain and put it in your backpack. Unfortunately, your discovery has not gone undisturbed. The foundry's large double doors swing open, and in a rush, a Drakkar and several armed, snarling Gyaks. They were drawn here by the noise of your previous combat, and the Drakkar has been watching you through the cracks in the foundry wall. He is an imposing armored warrior, human in aspect but decidedly inhuman in behavior. Now is the moment he has decided to launch his surprise attack. Alright, now we meet a new enemy, the Drakharim. They are decidedly tougher than the Gyaks, but again shouldn't be any real challenge, not at this early stage. Alright, he'll probably hit me first. Yeah. Shit. Alright. Now he's gonna call in a couple of Gyaks, that's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and use our weapons. I said use our weapon skill first. There we go. That way we can deal a lot more damage to this guy. One more hit should finish off the Drakkar. Oh, he dodged. That's gonna suck. Alright. Should still finish him off here. Well, maybe not. Let's go ahead and use this. There we go. Alright, and that'll do it for him. Now let's see. Go ahead and we'll block. That'll give us better defense while my stuff is building. And I can do this. Deal him a little bit of damage if he attacks. Very nice. Alright, now we are going to use this. There we go. Do this. That should finish one of them off. Alright. And now I will show you guys the Sommersword finally. Now that's pretty awesome, isn't it? Alright, and that does it for that battle. Like I said, the Drakkar, at least at this point in the game, are not really tough. They get tough later on. They can deal a lot of damage to you, and, honestly, they get to the point to where they're kind of hard to hit. Alright, got a throwing knife, another picklock, leather, some steel, very nice, and a tunnel sweeper, very nice indeed. Go ahead and we'll take all that. You leave the foundry feeling exhausted by the strain of combat, and yet exhilarated by having found the drive chain. Inspired by your success, you now redouble your efforts to complete your collection of missing parts. You stop for a minute to catch your breath and to survey the streets and buildings hereabouts. You see movement among the shadows and catch glimpses of the enemy through the windows of the houses close by. There are Gyaks everywhere. One building in particular catches your eye. It is plain and austere by comparison to many others, but it has a sign above its door that grabs your attention. Sheriff's Office. Alright, first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and meditate. Although there are dangers looming, it should be safe enough to meditate here. That means that my chances of being attacked have gone up slightly. Alright, we made it through that meditation without a fight. Now let's go check out the Sheriff's Office. Oh, run into something on the way. Alright. Seemingly from out of nowhere, a missile arcs through the air and thuds into the ground beside your left foot. It kicks up a plume of snow and dirt. With lightning-fast reflexes, you draw your weapon and steady yourself for an imminent fight. Oh, well, that escalated quickly. Alright. Go ahead and take this guy out. And deal some, well, doesn't look like I can, that's weird. Alright, then we'll go ahead and we'll mind blast him. Deal some damage there, and stun him. Damn it, I always miss that first one. Try to get in too big of a hurry. And there we go. Finish him off. Well, I figured it would have. This should. There we go. Any battle that you can get into where you don't take any damage is an advantage. Because like I said, healing items are kind of hard to come by in this game. Alright, and they left us 2 crossbow bolts, very nice, a copper necklace, and a piece of leather. Alright, go ahead and take all that. You approach the door of the sheriff's office and take note of a painted shield that is fixed to the wall. It bears the distinctive emblem of Rockstarn, 3 crossed sledgehammers on a white crossed field. Beneath a slated roof porch, the main door is held ajar by a booted foot. It belongs to the body of a dead man lying just inside the entrance. The stripes sewn into the sleeves of his high-collared jacket tell you that this is Sheriff Tarler. He has been stabbed fatally in the back by a sharp Gaiac sword. You push open the door and step carefully inside the dead man's office. A search of his pockets reveals nothing. They have already been emptied. You sense that his personal items have been taken by the same Gaiac that took his life. You drag Tarla's body away from the entrance and push the door shut. The front room of the office is where the sheriff used to deal with daily matters of law and order in Rockstarn. Now those days are sadly gone. This room is dominated by a large desk made of Somlending oak, beautifully engraved with provincial emblems and the personal crests of Somlending heroes past and present. In a corner of the room you can see a large wooden chest with iron fitting, and at the back of the room, opposite the main door, there is a flight of broad stone steps that lead down to the gaol cells below. This is where prisoners are held before trial. Alright, I can count on my Kai weapon skill to destroy the lock. Before moving on, investigate the desk, or attempt to pick the lock. I'm going to investigate the desk first. You stand beside the oak desk and pick up one of several scrolls that are heaped upon the table's green leather surface. You unfurl it and begin to read the contents. It is a death warrant for a man called Mirok Gilad, a thief who had been found guilty of murdering 2 of the sheriff's reeves, his deputies, who had chased Gilad and his accomplices to their hideout in the sunken forest. You read that Gilad pleaded innocent when accused of the crime. He claimed that the reeves were murdered, but not by him, by Gaiacs. At the bottom of the scroll there is written in Sheriff Tarler's hand the date of Gilad's execution. It is today's date. Now, I can go down the stairs to check the lower floor of the building. I can pick the lock, or use my Kai weapon skill to destroy the lock. We're going to go ahead and do that. The chest is large and sturdy. It could contain something of great value or great use to you. It is held shut by an iron lock. You examine it carefully and see that the inner mechanism is corroded with rust. Using the blade of your weapon, you force it between the lid and the body of the chest, and lever it downwards with all your strength. You hear the sharp ringing sound of metal snapping. We got an adjudicar, very nice, hardened steel, and ash. We're going to go ahead and take all that. You descend the steps and arrive at a guard room, rough-hewn from the granite bedrock. It is lit by an oily torch that radiates dull ember light. It is sparsely furnished with a table, 2 chairs, and a food cupboard. There are 2 cells adjoining the guard room. One of them is empty, but the other is occupied by a tall man with a long beard and strong calloused hands. His name has been chalked on a board fixed to the door of his cell, Merak Gilad. Gilad has gone without food and water since the morning of the Gaiac attack. He has heard the screams and the sounds of crackling fire in the night, and he is anxious to escape from his cell before the Gaiacs find him, or before he dies of thirst. Unlock the door, he demands. Release me from this cell. I want nothing to do with this village and its fine, upright, law-abiding inhabitants. I certainly don't want anything to do with Gaiacs. And what if I were to open the cell door and set you free? What would you do? Where would you go? The Gaiacs are everywhere. You'd be better off staying where you are. I'd go back to the sunken forest. That is my home, mine and my brother's. I've had more than enough of Rockstarn. You reply, your voice tinged with regret. The Gaiacs launched their attack upon Rockstarn from the sunken forest. That timberland is rife with them. I pity the plight of your kinsfolk, but I fear it is too late for you to warn or save them now. You turn away from the cell door and Gilad shouts out, "The key is over there! Unlock the damned door!" He points towards an iron fitting that fixes the torch to the wall. It's hanging from the torch bracket. Alright. Destiny choice. A destiny choice will deeply influence how the story will evolve, so remember to choose wisely. It is a tough call, but your mind is clear enough to decide. Or, before making any decision, you try to gather more information. I believe that would be the wise thing to do. You want to know more about this prisoner before you decide his fate. Why have you been put in this cell, you ask? There must be some reason why you've been locked up, is that not so? Gilad's throat is parched with thirst. He says he will tell you everything, but first he must have some water. He points to the large cupboard standing against the wall opposite his cell door. You pull open the cupboard door and find a pewter pitcher of water, an enameled iron cup, and a half loaf of stale bread. Answer me first, and answer me truthfully. Then I shall decide if you deserve this bread and water, and your freedom. He tells you his name is Merak Gilad. His brothers are not blood related. They are a band of robbers cast out of Toron 3 years ago for burglary and street crimes. They found refuge in the sunken forest, and have survived there since, living off of the plentiful flora and fauna. Not long ago, he and his fellow thieves, his brotherhood as he calls them, used the elevator to enter Rockstarn. They had come looking to steal some Bronin arrowheads for hunting. Unfortunately, the sheriff and his reeves caught them in the act. They ran back, desperate to escape, but the sheriff apprehended him before he could get away. His brothers were more fortunate. They made good their escape and returned to their lair in the sunken forest. The reeves were killed during the chase, and he was blamed for their deaths. He tells you that he and his brothers are innocent. The reeves were killed by Gaiacs. You are mindful of the fact that if you leave him locked in his cell, it will only be a matter of time before Gaiacs find him or he dies of thirst. If you release him, he will at least have a chance to survive. It may be a slim chance, but it is better than no chance at all. You decide to uphold the law, as severe as it may be in this case. Or, leaving Merak here means the Gaiacs will surely get him. You open the cell. We're going to open his cell. You walk over to the torch and unhook the key from its black iron bracket. Gilad looks relieved that you have decided to set him free. You twist the key in the lock, and the heavy door creaks open. Gilad rushes forward and shakes your hand in gratitude, but with such forceful enthusiasm that you have to push him away for fear he may break your wrist. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket, and for a moment you suspect he may have a concealed weapon, but quickly you sense that he harbors no ill intent. He simply wants to give you a token of his gratitude. It is a plain wooden ring carved in Somlending oak. It is the mark of my brotherhood. It's not much, but it's all I have. You accept the ring from his calloused palm and step aside to let him leave this dingy cell. Gilad rushes through the open door and scrambles up the stone stairs. You bid him good luck as he disappears into the room above. Alright, we have the mark of the brotherhood. Very nice. You return to the street, saddened by the death of Sheriff Tarler and disappointed that you have not found the control handle. You fear that the Gaiacs now possess this missing part. As you move along the street, you are lost in your thoughts of how difficult it will be to find the control handle. It could be anywhere in this village. Distracted, you fail to see a gang of Gaiacs approaching from a nearby alleyway. "Ikdok, get him!" they cry, and they come rushing towards you with their weapons drawn. Alright, before we do that, I want to go ahead and go into this screen. This is the book interface. The red bar represents your vitality, the blue one your Kai power, and the green one your endurance. Each of these icons lets you access different sections of the book. Remember to put your belt to good use, place potions or other items in its slots, and access them while fighting. Choose wisely since you won't be able to open your inventory during a combat session. Additional belt slots can be unlocked by upgrading your Kai armor. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to go into my inventory here because I have a couple of things that I want to use. The inventory lets you change your equipment and arrange items you will access from your belt in combat. To equip items or move them in your belt bags, just keep the confirm command pressed and release it over a highlighted spot. Alright, now, what I want to do here is I want to find the adjudicator, or whatever it's called, this thing. Yeah, adjudicar. And I want to move that up here in place of the shield because that is going to allow me to have dual wield capabilities during battle, which is very, very handy. Alright, also, I want to find this guy, and I want to move this up here. And then take these guys and move them up here in place of this. There we go. Alright, now I should be able to mix these. There we go. And do I have any more? I do not. So, go ahead and use this, because I think I'm a little low. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and that should get me good for this battle. And we'll go ahead and take these Gaiacs out as well. Alright, they started us out against 3 of them. Which means, of course, we'll take some damage to start out with. Which is fine. Alright, now we should be able to take one of them out immediately. Very nice. Now, go ahead and use weapon skill. And take another one out. Alright. Now, hit him with these 3. Alright, I got all 3 of them that time. Excellent. Hit him with this. Ah, crap. I missed the triangle key. Alright, and that right there finishes that battle. and let's see what they have for us. Looks like we got 4 crossbow bolts, 4 more throwing knives, 2 picklocks, and a kai pouch. Very nice indeed. You have dispatched these Gaiacs, but the threat of attack and capture is as strong as ever. You can hear other Gaiacs approaching this part of the village, drawn by the noise of your combat. You look around for some place to hide, and your eye is caught by a small building with a bright red door and a sloping slate roof. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this one here. Next time we're going to try to make a run for cover and see if we can't get into this building with the red door. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave me a like and subscribe. But ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. Later.